welcome through the portal to All Things Reading. Grab your drink, grab a snack, and let's get into it. Today we are going to be talking about
there are a million books that you all would enjoy in the literary fiction section of a bookstore, and for some reason you won't go in there. We need people to be reading things other than romance or romantasy. Nobody cares about quality control or grammar or anything. Publishers to continue publishing a wide range of books. I don't want to read only romance and romantasy, and unfortunately the way demographics are shifting right now in terms of who is reading and what they're reading,
now, I
that's
got
what we're
this
headed
from
towards.
another creator on TikTok because, surprise, surprise, the creator has now taken the video down and completely deleted his account. Now, there seems to be this beef going on with a lot of people hating on readers of romance and romantic fiction. But what baffles me is, why do they feel so strongly about it to make a video that is kind of rage baity? And you're just hating towards someone just enjoying a book, enjoying a genre. But it is always romance and always romantasy. I should say he is not the only creator that has shown hate towards people who read this genre. But what got me was that this man was just pure anger in his delivery, which I think is probably one of the reasons why it rubbed people the wrong way. Not the fact that what he was saying, it was that his delivery was just so aggressive and so angry and confrontational. I am a firm believer in that you can have a discussion about books. You can have a discussion about why you didn't enjoy a certain book, and that's absolutely fine. Or even why you didn't enjoy a genre. But I think he like he says in the video, he doesn't want to always be reading those books, but that's how the algorithm is. But in my experience of TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, if you watch videos that are, if he was watching thriller videos on thriller books or crime books, that's what the algorithm is going to show. So it's not the fact that that's how the algorithm's going. I don't think it's that he keeps watching those type of videos, so that's what they're going to show. For instance, my algorithm at the moment on TikTok is showing me romance books and dark romance, but it's also showing me journaling videos because I like to journal and scrapbook, and that's what it's showing. So if he watches those, if he watches these literary fiction videos and people talking about those type of books, that's hopefully what it's going to show for him. So his argument is kind of mute, but I get where he's coming from with the algorithm is showing these books, but if he just watched the people talking about thriller books, because there is creators out there, there's lots of creators out there that do crime book, thriller books and just normal fiction books. If he just watched those, the algorithm would change for him. Or it might take a bit of time, but it would change, I think. But let me know your thoughts in the comments about the whole algorithm. Saying that there are other books that we would enjoy more that aren't romance and romantic fiction is a bold statement, because people can enjoy what they want to enjoy, and for all he's just generalizing on everybody that reads them, but for all he knows that we have read those books and we just didn't enjoy them, so we don't go back. Or in terms of literary fiction, maybe we haven't found a book that has spoke to us enough that we are like, oh yeah, from the blurb, I want to read it. But I wouldn't expect someone to stop reading a book genre that they enjoy just because I've told them that they should try something new. Like, I wouldn't expect them to. I wouldn't expect someone to drop a book and say, yeah, I'm going to be reading this. You can take recommendations. Like, if he had started the video, or if he'd done the video and said, or even these people that say, oh, you should try different books other than romance and romantasy, if they just said, oh, here is some suggestions if you want to read something that's other than, it would have been absolutely fine. People do videos like that all the time. But because of his anger and just hatefulness, I wouldn't have even taken any of his recommendations. But I don't expect someone to read something that they're not going to enjoy. Like, I don't expect that. If I know my friend has only read romance books and she doesn't want to read any other, I'm not going to expect her to read another genre just for her to go into a reading slump. You want to take pleasure in reading and not make it a chore, because I think it can turn into a chore if you're constantly reading certain books and you just don't enjoy them, because you get part of the way through and it just feels like a chore to try and finish it. Now, these are some books that I would recommend that are not in my normal genre. You do not have to take these recommendations, but it just proves that, like, I am a romance reader, I'm a romance fantasy reader, and my whole page is mostly those. Actually, it's all those. But on my shelf, I do have books that are like literary fiction or just different fiction that isn't romance and romancy. But it proves the point that not every reader and not every person is going to have all the same on their shelves. But to say that we won't go into a book, so to say that we won't go and buy a book that isn't romance and romantasy isn't going to be the same for everyone, and is certainly not the same for myself and a lot of my book besties on here. Here is 2 examples of books that I have bought in a bookshop. This one, very good, very interesting, and butter. Now, so the question, so again, it's going to be, the point is moot, that it's not going to be the same for everybody. In buying books from a bookshop, I do buy romance from bookshops, I do buy romantic fantasy, but I also buy these. That is that we build our platform around what we usually read. So that's what we're pushing out to our followers. And I think if you are building a platform on that, you don't necessarily show other types of books that you might go for. So say I wouldn't necessarily show those on my page because it's not what I built my platform around. Again, it won't be the same for everyone. Some people will have a mix of books, but most of my videos are on the same, and that's absolutely fine. But it doesn't mean that I don't read the books, because at the end of the day, you only see a very small fraction of what I actually read. You don't see everything that I read. I'm sure if you followed me on Fable, Fable, if you don't know, is like Goodreads, but for me it's more fun. You don't see everything that I read, so you don't necessarily know that I don't read another genre, because I don't put it on my page. Now, if you have got to the end of this video, I applaud you. It has been a bit of a ramble, I am not going to lie, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on this and on people who, so if you are out there and you've thought, oh, I'm going to post a video on exactly similar to the concept of what he does, what is it that you're wanting to gain out of it? Like, is there a discussion you want to do, or is it just for views? What is it? Please tell me. So yeah, bye for now.